Greetings, church. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of March, 2021. We are here at the storage, Northwest Storage here. And I got hit again last night. And they came in and we were pitched at Southwest Alder and Southwest 7. And this is the reason why I told John MacArthur I didn't want to be a missionary. You know, I knew this was going to happen. Remember the other day when we were at Southwest Grand and Southwest Pine Sunday, I showed you this right here. Okay, yesterday I went to Blanchet and they gave me one of these, and this is what they did last night with it. So they came in, had sex with my body repeatedly. I got up and verbally corrected it, put a sign on the window, and they came back again. I want to show you the size of this suitcase here. It's one of those big, huge, colossal. This was the biggest one, and they went into the box that's in the storage here, and this is what this is the thing that I had sewn together to keep the phone safe. So they put a knife to it. With the same knife, they cut open that one, which I showed you, and I want to show you the size difference. You can see that this is the next level up. I just got that yesterday, and remember that big long board that I had? I folded it in half and reduced it to this, so everything is in here that I need. So you can see that it's a huge suitcase, and you could put, I mean, with two of those, you can have one for the church, like for church meeting, in like 12 by 14, because remember, I have one of those, and then you can have another one with all of this stuff in it. So you can have two, you know, for traveling. But now I can't even do anything with this anymore because of what they've done here to the wheel. And I don't know how much it cost for one of these ordeals. Yesterday I went to Central City Concern and put in an application for some, you know, for housing and a job, and I was waiting for it, but I can't go back to Washington. It's bad over there, and the Klan came out again last time I went. And they're over here now. Last night they parked themselves. They sent me 3 different men. They parked themselves right outside of the tent. They sent several people, several young men, and you could feel the hatred and the animosity coming from them every time they walked by. And finally, I kept on coming out and saying, what is the problem here? You know, somebody's going to end up getting killed. They used the words of Alan Paul, you know, and so I know that John MacArthur was behind it. When I got to the spot, and it was the Lord who led me there to the spot, he told me to, it was directly across from Next Adventure, and so they kept on sending people. I'm not sure why. I was really offended by the guy, you know. I think they were trying to combine the manager of this place with Alan Paul, and he didn't say anything to me. He didn't approach me. But when I finally did go to sleep after 12 o'clock, because I was doing some writing, some journaling, as the activities of the day, when I finally did go to sleep, about 3 hours later, I was awakened. They came out, and I fell asleep, and they came out again. It's an ongoing thing with Gabriel Franklin and John MacArthur. What I was saying is that they had set up a Bob Jones double, a look-alike, you know, MacArthur's issue. He was in the spot before I did, and I guess he was driving a hatchback, which was supposed to be a hearse, sort of like a warning of death. And he came around the corner pissed off and outraged and angry. I saw him twice, and he took his car and he drove away. The community that's judging John is here in Portland, and the fact that he can't go back to Grace the pastor, he's up here judging me. They're up here judging him. So because my mom has a slight resemblance to Bob, he's judging me and telling me I need to take his hit, and they're judging him, and they're pissed off at him. So it's an ongoing thing, and so I don't think this is going to be over at any time. And I don't know if Alan is deceased or not, or if this is just another Grace community crank. But anyway, that's where things are at this Tuesday morning. And then of course Melinda tells me that CCC, Central City Concern, has folded. And so what was being offered to me is not anymore, because I wouldn't comply with the homosexuality. I wouldn't comply with what they were asking. I think what they wanted was for me to, they approached me like 3 or 4 times. They wanted me to vacate where I was at and give it to one of them, and for me to be the subordinate. And I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. Just like they've come several times to have me removed out of this storage and have me as the subordinate. I don't understand these people, you know. I don't know what the devil is doing in them. But he's doing it, you know, he's doing it. And that's the real reason why the church is not planted, is the opposition. It's always the opposition. It's always the people who don't want to see others saved. They don't have an eternal perspective of what's going on. They just have a temporal, right here, right now. You know, they don't think about the end times that's coming, you know. They don't think about the man of lawlessness. They don't think about the second coming of Christ. They don't think about the judgment. We must all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. They don't think biblically. They don't see it coming. And when it does come, it's going to hurt. Just like that right there hurts, because this thing here is what I needed. And when it was finally given to me, they just took one of the foot out. Now, for me to go to the police department and file a report, Portland police won't get involved unless there's blood and there's a gunshot to the chest, somebody's get killed. They're not touching it, you know. And I can't prove who has access in and out of this storage, or in the tent, or in the apartments, in the bank boxes. It's even worse in the bank boxes when you're looking at the enemy, you know. And they hire homosexuals that look exactly like Gabriel, you know, in the Asian community. And there are a ton of them. There's a ton of them. And they all want to be the Queen of England, you know, in the community. And they all want to represent it. They all want to hit. And you don't understand their thinking and going, what about God? Don't you people fear God, the wrath of God? You know, don't you fear what's coming against you? Don't you understand what it says in Revelation, that every deed that has been committed? I mean, the word that we have been given is so clear. You know, I'm going to read this passage here, and I want everything that, give me a second, that you've heard summed up in I read Psalm 49 this morning when I first got up, and but I now have a clearer understanding of what God wanted me to understand from Psalms 49. You know, all of the stuff that we have down here stays, you know, so don't cherish any of it. But I think the warning in Revelation is so clear of every deed, you know, great or small, we're going to pay for it. And so I don't understand how is it that these people have no fear of God's coming wrath, you know. Coming from the book of Revelation, it says here's the text. Revelation, it says, he says, and then I saw a great white throne, and him who was seated on it. From his presence, earth and sky fled away, and no place was found for them. He says, and I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Then another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged by what was written in the books according to what they had done. And then he says in verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead who were in it. Death and Hades gave up the dead who were in them. And they were judged, each one of them, according to what they had done. and so on and so forth. There's 2 other verses, but I'm not going to read it. But you understand, according to what they had done. And it doesn't say, and it's the great and the small. And it doesn't say the rich and the poor, the black and the white. So take into consideration whether it be on this level here or this level there or the Twin Towers. You know, people are going to be screaming. Okay, come end time, they're going to be screaming. They're not going to even understand why they're being judged. They think now, you know, because, well, anyway, I'm preaching and I don't want to preach and I just want an update. So that's what's going on. I'll keep you up to date. God bless you.